I'm about to tell you a story that happened right here in America, about a woman who thought she'd left her past behind, until one morning an envelope arrived that would change everything. And what was written inside that invitation? Well, that's when her whole world turned upside down. Mia Carter stood in her small kitchen, one hand resting on her pregnant belly, the other holding a cup of herbal tea that had gone cold. 6 months along, living in a modest apartment on the outskirts of town, she'd spent the last year rebuilding her life piece by piece after Daniel walked out. The morning light filtered through thin curtains as she sorted through the mail, bills, advertisements, and then a cream-colored envelope with elegant gold lettering. Her hands trembled as she recognized the return address. Daniel Montgomery, her ex-husband. She shouldn't open it. Every instinct screamed to throw it away. But curiosity, that terrible, persistent curiosity, made her fingers tear the seal. Inside was a formal wedding invitation. Embossed letters announced Daniel's upcoming marriage to Alyssa Bradford. The date was set for 3 weeks away at the Riverside Country Club, the same venue where they'd celebrated their own wedding anniversary just 2 years ago. Mia's throat tightened. She pressed her palm against the counter to steady herself, but it was the handwritten note tucked inside that made her blood run cold. "Mia, I know this might seem strange, but I think it would mean a lot to everyone if you came. For closure. It would show people that we've moved past everything in a mature way. I hope you'll consider it." Daniel. Closure? Mature? The man who'd abandoned her the moment he found out she was pregnant now wanted her at his wedding. To show people they'd moved past everything. Mia's neighbor, Mrs. Patterson, an older woman who'd become like a grandmother to her, knocked gently on the door before letting herself in with the spare key. "Honey, I brought you some fresh muffins from—" She stopped mid-sentence, seeing Mia's pale face. What happened? Mia handed her the invitation without a word. Mrs. Patterson's expression shifted from concern to outrage as she read. "That man has some nerve, after everything he put you through." "He wants closure," Mia whispered, her voice barely audible. "He wants me to come to his wedding." "That's not closure, sweetheart. That's cruelty disguised as kindness." Mrs. Patterson set down the muffin basket and took Mia's hands. "You don't owe him anything. Not after he left you alone and pregnant." But even as Mrs. Patterson spoke, Mia's phone buzzed. A text from Daniel. "Did you get my invitation? Really hoping you'll be there. It would mean everything." Mia stared at the message, her heart pounding. Something about this felt wrong. Deeply, terribly wrong. This wasn't about closure at all. This was about something else entirely. And that's when her whole world was about to turn upside down. The call started that same afternoon. Mia was folding baby clothes she'd bought at a thrift store when her phone rang. Daniel's name flashed on the screen. She let it go to voicemail. Within minutes, he called again, then again. By evening, she had 7 missed calls and a dozen text messages. "Mia, we need to talk about the wedding. I know this is awkward, but it's important. Can you at least respond? This matters to me." Finally exhausted and unable to focus on anything else, she answered, "What do you want, Daniel?" His voice was smooth, practiced. "I just wanted to make sure you got my invitation. I really hope you'll come." "Why?" Mia's hand instinctively moved to her belly. "Why would you possibly want me there?" "Because it shows growth, Mia, maturity, that we've moved past our differences." He paused. "My colleagues from the firm will be there, Alyssa's family, important people. And I think it would mean a lot if they could see that we're civil, that there's no bad blood between us." There it was, the truth slipping through his carefully chosen words. This wasn't about closure. This was about his image. "You want me there so you look good," Mia said flatly. "That's not fair." His tone shifted, defensive. "I'm trying to do the right thing here. I'm trying to show our child that their parents can be adults about this." "Our child?" Mia's voice cracked. "Daniel, you haven't asked about this baby once since you found out I was pregnant. Not once." Silence on the other end. Then, "That's exactly why this is so important. We need to start fresh. Show people, show our child, that we can handle this with dignity." Dignity. The word felt like a slap. Mrs. Patterson, who'd been quietly listening from the kitchen, shook her head in disgust. Over the next few days, Daniel's messages became more insistent. He sent articles about co-parenting and healthy divorce relationships. He mentioned how Alyssa was totally supportive of Mia coming. He even had his mother call, a woman who'd ignored Mia's existence for the past year. "Mia, dear, Daniel really wants you there," his mother said in that syrupy voice Mia remembered too well. "It would be so wonderful for the family to see you two getting along. People talk, you know, and we wouldn't want anyone thinking badly of Daniel." There it was again. His reputation, his image, his comfort, never hers. That night, Mia sat alone in her dimly lit living room, staring at her phone. Another message from Daniel. "I'm not asking for much, Mia. Just a few hours. You don't even have to stay for the reception, just the ceremony. It would show everyone that I'm a good man who treats his ex-wife with respect." Mia felt something harden inside her chest. He wanted to use her, display her like a trophy of his supposed maturity, parade his pregnant ex-wife in front of his guests to prove he was noble, evolved, better than the man who'd actually abandoned her. She was supposed to be his prop, his evidence of good character. Mrs. Patterson found her crying softly on the couch, one hand on her growing belly. "He won't stop," Mia whispered. "He keeps calling, texting, having other people contact me." "That man doesn't want closure, honey," Mrs. Patterson said gently, sitting beside her. "He wants control. He wants to write the story where he's the hero." Mia looked down at her phone, at Daniel's latest message glowing in the darkness, and in that moment, something shifted inside her. Maybe she should go, but not for the reasons he wanted, not at all. Because if Daniel wanted her to play a role in his perfect wedding, she was going to rewrite the script entirely. 3 days later, Daniel showed up at her door. Mia hadn't responded to his last 15 messages, so apparently he'd decided a personal visit was necessary. She saw him through the window, perfectly dressed in his tailored suit, holding a coffee from that expensive downtown cafe he always bragged about. She almost didn't open the door, but something told her this wouldn't end until she faced him. "Mia, thank you for seeing me." He smiled, that practiced smile she used to think was charming. Now it just looked calculated. "I didn't invite you in, Daniel." I know, I just..." He glanced at her belly, then quickly away. "I wanted to talk to you face to face about the wedding. I haven't decided if I'm coming. That's actually what I wanted to discuss." He shifted his weight, suddenly looking nervous. "I had an idea, something that could make this really special." Mia's stomach tightened. Nothing good ever followed those words from Daniel. "What if you gave a short speech at the ceremony?" The air seemed to leave her lungs. "A speech," she repeated slowly. "Yes, just a few words, nothing long or complicated." His enthusiasm was building, like he'd convinced himself this was brilliant. "You could talk about how we've grown, how we've moved forward in a healthy way. It would be so meaningful, Mia, so powerful." She stared at him, unable to form words. "Think about it," he continued, warming to his theme. "All those people wondering about us, about what happened. You standing up there, showing everyone that there's no drama, no bitterness, that we're mature adults who can celebrate each other's happiness. You want me to stand in front of your wedding guests?" Her voice was barely a whisper. 6 months pregnant with your child that you abandoned, and give a speech about how wonderful you are. "That's not what I'm asking." He looked genuinely offended. "I'm asking you to help create a narrative of healing, of forgiveness. My partners from the firm will be there, Mia. Alyssa's parents, who are very traditional. This would show them that I'm a man of character, that I maintain good relationships even after divorce." There it was, the raw truth beneath all his pretty words. This wasn't about healing. This wasn't about their child. This wasn't even about her. This was theater. A performance where she was supposed to play the gracious ex-wife, validating his choices, absolving him of guilt, proving to his fancy colleagues that he was a good man, all while visibly pregnant, alone, proof of his abandonment on full display. "Get out," she said quietly. "Mia, you're not thinking clearly. Get out." Her voice was stronger now. "You want to parade me in front of your guests like some kind of trophy. Proof that you're such a good person that even your pregnant ex-wife will stand up and praise you. That's a terrible way to frame this." "Is it?" Mia's hands were shaking. "You left me the day I told you I was pregnant, Daniel. You said you weren't ready, that it wasn't the right time, that you needed to focus on your career, and now you want me to stand at your wedding and tell everyone what a great man you are?" His jaw tightened. "I'm trying to do the right thing here. I'm trying to include you, to make you part of this new chapter." "No," Mia said, her voice breaking. "You're trying to use me. One more time." Daniel stood there for a moment, his mask slipping just enough for her to see the coldness underneath. "Think about what you're doing, Mia," he said quietly. Think about how this looks. People will wonder why you didn't come. They'll assume you're bitter, jealous, unable to move on. He left his coffee on her doorstep and walked away. Mia closed the door, slid down against it and cried, because the worst part was he was right about one thing. People would talk. They always did. The next morning, Mrs. Patterson found Mia sitting at her kitchen table, staring at nothing. "Honey, you haven't slept, have you?" Mia shook her head. Dark circles shadowed her eyes. Her hand rested protectively on her belly, where the baby had been kicking all night, as if sensing her mother's turmoil. "I keep thinking about what he said, about people talking. Let them talk." Mrs. Patterson sat down heavily. "People always talk, sweetheart, but you don't owe that man a single thing." "I know I don't." Mia's voice was hollow. "But he's right about one thing. If I don't go, people will think I'm bitter, that I can't handle seeing him happy, that I'm the problem." Later that day, Mia's younger sister Emma drove 3 hours to see her. "Please tell me you're not actually considering this," Emma said the moment she walked through the door. "Mia, it's a trap. He wants to humiliate you. I know what he wants." "Then why would you even think about going?" Mia was quiet for a long moment. "Because if I don't, he wins anyway. He gets to tell everyone I was too bitter to show up, too jealous, too unable to move on. And then when our baby is born, that narrative follows me forever." Emma grabbed her sister's hands. "This baby doesn't need you to prove anything to anyone. This baby just needs a mother who protects herself." That evening, Mia attended her church's Wednesday service. Pastor Mike, who'd counseled her through the divorce, noticed her distress immediately. After the service, they talked in the quiet sanctuary. "I feel trapped," Mia admitted, tears streaming down her face. "If I go, he uses me. If I don't go, he uses my absence. Either way, he controls the story." Pastor Mike was thoughtful. "Mia, I've known you since you were a little girl coming to Sunday school, and one thing I've always seen in you is strength, real strength. Not the kind that pretends everything is fine, the kind that faces hard truths with dignity. I don't feel strong right now. Strength isn't about feeling powerful. It's about choosing truth even when it costs you something." He paused. "What does your heart tell you to do?" Mia closed her eyes, prayed silently, felt the baby move inside her. And suddenly she knew. "I'm going to go," she said quietly. Mrs. Patterson, Emma, even Pastor Mike, they all started to protest. "Wait," Mia interrupted. "I'm going, but not for him. Not to play his game or give his speech or be his prop." "Then why?" Emma asked desperately. "Because I'm tired of him taking my voice." Mia's hands were steady now, her jaw set. "He took my marriage, my plans for our future, my security, and now he wants to take my dignity too, by making me too afraid to show my face. Mia, I'm going to that wedding," she continued, something hard and bright forming in her chest. "And yes, I'll give a speech if he asks, but it won't be the speech he wants. It won't be the performance he's expecting." Mrs. Patterson studied her face. "You're sure about this?" "For the first time in months, yes." Mia stood up, one hand on her belly. "He thinks he's using me. But maybe, just maybe, it's time I use this opportunity too." Emma looked worried. "What are you planning?" Mia didn't answer directly. Instead, she simply said, "The truth. I'm going to tell the truth." And for the first time since that invitation arrived, Mia Carter smiled. Not because she was happy, but because she was done being silent. The Riverside Country Club looked exactly as Mia remembered. White columns, manicured gardens, the kind of place where appearances mattered more than anything else. She sat in her car for 5 full minutes, hand on her belly, gathering courage. Emma had wanted to come with her, but Mia had refused. This was something she needed to do alone. When she finally stepped out, smoothing down the simple navy dress that accommodated her pregnancy, she saw Daniel's mother near the entrance. The woman's eyes widened, then quickly looked away, pretending she hadn't seen her. The first test failed. Mia walked toward the venue entrance, each step feeling heavier than the last. The moment she crossed through the doorway into the decorated hall, everything stopped. Conversations died mid-sentence. Heads turned, eyes found her immediately, specifically her pregnant belly. The whispers started like wildfire. "Is that? Oh my God, she actually..."